Sarah, we have to talk about the firmware upgrade the world has been waiting for. I've just finished reanalyzing MJ DeMarco's The Millionaire Fastlane, and it feels less like a book and more like a tactical manual for escaping a burning building. Most people are living their lives on the sidewalk, one paycheck away from absolute ruin. We're talking about a complete psychological and mathematical formula to crack the code to wealth.
A tactical manual? Or a beautifully bound collection of survivorship bias, Marcus? DeMarco's Sidewalk isn't just a choice. For most people in this economic uncertainty, it's a cage. He talks about wealth in a wheelchair as if saving for retirement is a crime. But look at the data he actually cites. 62% of U.S. households have less than $100,000 in net worth. That's not just bad choices, that's a systemic failure.
But that's exactly his point. The system, the slow lane, is the failure. It's the get-rich-slow lie that tells you to trade 5 days of life for 2 days of freedom. You're selling your soul Monday through Friday to buy back a weekend. In the modern era of AI entrepreneurship and the creator economy, why are we still teaching people that a 401k and a gold watch at 65 is the safe path? It's a negative 60% return on your time.
Oh, right, because everyone can just innovate their way into a Lamborghini. DeMarco's obsession with that car is telling. He saw a stranger in a Countach, and it kicked his ass out of his comfort zone. But he ignores that for every fast lane success, there are 10,000 failed startups and side hustles that left people in more debt than they started with. He even admits he was prostituting himself to pay for a wedding gift at one point. That's not a blueprint. That's a horror story.
It's a process, Sarah. Wealth is a process, not an event. People see the event, the $30 million exit or the viral AI business, and they ignore the years of coding in a dark garage, the credit card debt at 21%, and the 60-hour work weeks. The slow lane is a gamble of hope. You hope the economy stays robust, you hope you don't get laid off, and you hope you don't die before you hit 65. The fast lane is about taking control of the variables.
Control is an illusion, Marcus. He says, small numbers do not make millionaires. Fine, but controllable, unlimited leverage usually means exploiting a market that doesn't care about you. He talks about law of affection, affect millions to make millions. But look at modern employment. In the creator economy, the platforms, the YouTubes and the TikToks, are the sharks, and the creators are just guppies, feeding them content for pennies.
That's exactly why you don't join the platform. You build the platform. Don't be a gear in the machine. Be the architect. DeMarco says to switch from team consumer to team producer. Instead of buying the AI tool, build the SaaS that leverages the AI to solve a specific pain point. The commandment of entry is vital here. If it's easy to start, like a get-rich-quick scheme on social media, the competition will kill your margins. Real fast-lane roads have tolls and potholes.
But the emotional reality of those tolls, Marcus? It's burnout. He mentions a user on his forum living in a room no bigger than a jail cell, eating cardboard noodles and losing $30,000 right before the Dow peaked. That person felt like their life was a prison. Is financial freedom worth sacrificing your mental sanity in your 20s?
Is it worth sacrificing your entire life to a cubicle? DeMarco describes the slow lane as modern-day slavery. Waking up at 6 a.m., fighting traffic, and slaving away for 50 years, that's the real prison. The fast lane asks for a few years of red line commitment in exchange for 40 years of freedom. You're trading short-term comfort for meteoric comfort later.
Meteoric comfort. That's a great marketing phrase. But let's look at his wealth trinity. family, fitness, and freedom. He claims money buys freedom, which protects health and relationships. Yet, he also admits his own relationship ended because his girlfriend thought he had no resolve when his businesses were failing. The fast lane seems to destroy the very family component he claims it protects.
Logical. It didn't destroy it, it filtered it. He needed a tailwind, not a headwind. A partner who doesn't share your vision is a weight in the car. And once he hit his money tree, his automated system, he was earning $200,000 a month passively. He could spend all the time in the world with his daughters, watching them grow before his eyes. That is the ultimate wealth.
Ah, the money tree, the holy grail of passive income. Most of these passive businesses, like the remote businesses he champions, are actually delayed active work. He talks about a rental system being 95% passive. But anyone who has ever been a landlord knows that's a fantasy. It's human resource systems, employees, and they are unpredictable, expensive, and difficult to control.
Which is why he says you have to be a shark and manage the system, not just the people. He moved from being a limo driver, trading hours for money, to owning a lead generation site where the computer was the surrogate for his time. That's computer/software systems. Passivity grade, A-. It works while you sleep, while you poop, while you're in Jamaica.
And if the Google algorithm changes? If the AI gets updated and your SaaS becomes obsolete overnight? He mentions his own AdSense termination because of a joke on his forum. He had zero income for 8 days. That commandment of control he talks about? You can never truly have it in a world run by tech giants.
That's why you diversify within your control. You build your own brand, your own list, your own platform. DeMarco is clear. Don't invest in other people's brands, but in your own. The Slowlaner puts their faith in the company or the stock market, things they have zero control over. The Fastlaner is the lender and the producer.
Let's talk about the sidewalkers he looks down on. He mocks the kid with the $60,000 Cadillac living in a crappy apartment. He calls them 30K millionaires. But he ignores the psychological drive of lifestyle inflation in a world that constantly tells you that your worth is tied to your stuff. DeMarco himself bought a Corvette to look rich when he wasn't. He fell for the same faux wealth trap he now criticizes.
Exactly, and he's using his own failure as a wipe your windshield clean moment for the reader. He learned that affordability is when you don't have to think about it. If you have to do mental gymnastics to justify a purchase, you can't afford it. He's trying to kill the get-rich-easy myth and replace it with get-rich-quick, which is possible through the law of affection, but it's never easy.
But Marcus, the law of affection requires scale. How many people actually have the capacity to affect millions? DeMarco was a porky kid with few friends who got lucky with the dot-com boom. He repurchased his own company for pennies during the crash. That's timing and luck, not just process.
He calls luck the residue of process. He was out there taking swings. He built the machine, the pyramid-building machine, while everyone else was carrying stones by hand. The slow lane is carrying one stone at a time for 50 years. The fast lane is spending 3 years building the crane.
And if the crane breaks? If you spend 3 years building it and the pharaoh changes his mind? He says normal is modern-day slavery, but normal is also what keeps the lights on. Society needs teachers, architects, and veterinarians. Jobs he lists as taking 300 years to save $1 million. If everyone went fast lane, the system would collapse.
Logical. Society will always have slow laners because most people crave the illusory security of a paycheck. Most people will never have the discipline to turn off the TV and educate themselves. He's not talking to everyone. He's talking to the minority who refuse to settle for mediocrity. He's talking to the person who realizes that normal is 2 paychecks from broke.
There's a line in the book that actually haunted me. He says, "Somebody should tell us, right at the start of our lives, that we are dying." He views time as the primordial fuel. But his version of valuing time feels so anxious. He won't even stand in line for a $6 bucket of chicken because he calculates his hourly rate as being too high for that. That sounds like a miserable way to live, constantly auditing every second for its ROI.
It's not about anxiety. It's about intentionality. It's about realizing that indentured time, time spent earning a living, is the ransom of free time. If you can build a system that generates $40,000 a month in passive interest, you have all your time back. You can wake up without an alarm clock every day. Every day is a Saturday.
For him, because he's a control freak. He says, if you aren't in control, then you might become dependent on someone else. That's a lonely philosophical island, Marcus. He even views hitchhikers, people who join MLMs or use affiliate programs, as second-class entrepreneurs. He says network marketers are soldiers in a fast-laner's army. It's so predatory.
It's a reality check. If you're an affiliate marketer, you're sitting in the bed of someone else's pickup truck. If they hit a bump, you get tossed overboard. He's telling people to be the driver. Is it predatory to tell someone they should own their own brand instead of decals on a rusty Hyundai?
It's his commandment of need that I find most hypocritical. He says, stop chasing money, chase needs. But his entire book is a roadmap to the Lamborghini prophecy. The end goal is always the house on the mountain and the exotic car. It's a selfish philosophy wrapped in a service veneer.
No, the motive can be selfish, but the method must be unselfish. You can want the Lamborghini all you want, but the market won't give it to you unless you solve a problem for 1 million people. Money is a reflection of value provided. If you don't help people, you don't get paid. That's the most elegant system in the world.
Until the fast lane becomes a sidewalk because you took too much risk. He admits he almost lost his life street racing a 750 horsepower Viper. He calls it a treasonous choice. But isn't the entire fast lane a series of treasonous choices against the slow lane security we all rely on?
Security is an illusion, Sarah. A job is a subscription to pay yourself last. The government takes 30 to 50% before you even see it. In a corporation, you pay yourself first and the government last. Which is more risky, trusting a boss who can fire you tomorrow or trusting your own ability to solve a market need?
I'll grant you this. The slow lane is definitely broken for our generation. Rent is up, wages are stagnant, and wealth in a wheelchair feels more like poverty in a nursing home. But DeMarco's fast lane feels like it's written for the 1% of the 1%. It's a blueprint that requires a level of grit, luck, and technical skill that most people simply don't possess.
DeMarco says, the fast lane is a lifetime school with no graduates. He wasn't born with the skills. He mopped floors and delivered pizza while studying at the library. He learned SEO and programming by trial and failure. The brick walls are there to stop the people who don't want it badly enough.
Or they're there to stop people who have families to feed and can't afford to redline their lives for 5 years.
Logical. Then start where you are. Change your choice of perception. Stop standing in line for free chicken and start reading a book on the toilet. Every dollar you save is a freedom fighter in your army. It's a firmware upgrade, Sarah. You either install it or you keep running on the old, buggy software.
I'll keep the old software for a bit longer, Marcus. At least I know where the exit sign is. But I'll admit, the 5-for-2 trade is starting to feel like a very bad deal.
Then welcome to the fast lane waiting room. Grab a $10 latte if you can afford it, and let's get to work.
I'll stick to the homebrewed coffee. I'm still a slow laner at heart, Marcus. But I'm watching the road. I'm definitely watching the road.
Thank you for listening to this discussion on the System Read podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button and subscribe to ensure you don't miss our upcoming deep dives.